It's Monday morning again, and here we go, last little bit, a little flyer on the staircase, all set up, ready to go. So let's get in the mix and get this on. What's this? Look, sweat again. That's not right, that's not right. But let me show you what's caused that. That's all had 2 coats there, and up there. I'm actually out of breath. Right, so yeah, that's all had 2 coats, so it's all under control now. So it's just a case of trailing it. So, gone like an absolute madman to get that on. Once I finish this, I'll talk you through exactly how I sort of make this comfortable for myself, because they can be a bit daunting if you've never done one before. So you can see I'm just polishing it off with the Ox Ultraflex thing here. And what I like to do is get the top sort of to a point where that's finished down to that level. Then I can clear all this scaffold out of the way. And I can have a nice free run up and down these stairs. So I like to walk the wall. I like to get from one end all the way down to the other like that. And then obviously coming up from the skirting, from the stringer like that. But I do like to give it a walk up and down as well. So there we have it, all done, all finished. Looking nice, nice and shiny, nice and flat. Just take you up top and I'll shine you down even with the door open. That's how confident I am of that. So it's got the old kryptonite shining in on it, the sunlight. And yeah, that's looking good. So that'll be fine once it's all painted. That'll be nice, nice little hallway they got there. So yeah, that's me done at this job now. Switch the light off. Yep, good. All done. Right, that's that job all done. And I said in yesterday's video I'll be out of there by 11. Have a look at this. So I'm going to go home now. And then I'll tell you my tips for skimming the big staircase wall. If you're not a beginner, because obviously you've got to be quite proficient enough to say that you can skim a wall. But if you want to move up to the next level and skim the great big staircase wall, they can be a bit daunting really, and it's not for the faint-hearted. If you're not used to it, it can have your heart beating out your chest. But there's a few little things that I'll tell you in a minute that I think should get you there a lot easier. It's never going to be an easy job, because it's physically hard and it's quite a lot of pressure mentally, because you're worried about stuff going on. But follow my little tips I'm going to tell you in a minute, and you'll be skimming your staircase walls in no time at all. Right, so as promised, there's a few little tips that might help you get one of these big walls done on your own. So, first thing I would say, seems quite an obvious thing, but once you've PVA'd your wall or SBR'd your wall, why not go all out and just give it another one, a second one, or even a third one, whatever you want to do, just to make you feel that you've done as much as you can to control that suction. Because that's going to be a big factor, because once you've reached the bottom from the top, it will start pulling in, especially on a hot day like this. You will be having to get back up there fairly quickly, so you want to give yourself the best chance you can that isn't going to go off too much. Now, next tip I'm going to give you is, once you've got your ladders and your boards or your hop-ups, whatever you've got set up there, make sure that you can reach every part of that from your system, whatever you've got set up. Make sure you can reach each corner, the middles, the low spots, everything. But most importantly, make sure that once you've got that set up, you haven't got to start moving things and taking boards off and putting them on other things. Make sure you've got enough equipment there that you can get up and down on that wall without moving any gear, because believe me, that will really help with the workflow. And also, once you're on your scaffold, see how far you can reach. Reach down, see how far you can reach down with, because you might be surprised when you're standing on them boards and you're looking down, it will seem a lot higher than what it actually is. So you may be reaching down with plaster that you could quite easily get from standing on the stairs. Sometimes you think things are further away than they're not. So just go around and gauge what you can reach from where you're standing. You want to obviously make it as easy as possible. So just walk around, put your hand up and think, well, I can reach that from the stairs, because obviously you want to be doing most of it from standing on solid platform. So the higher you can reach on that, the quicker you're going to move. My next tip is have 2 buckets of water and 2 brushes. Have one at the top of the stairs with you and have one down the bottom of the stairs. That way, you're not going to be somewhere where you haven't got what you need right there, because you will need to obviously be washing off your tools and just running down the edges of your plaster as things go off. So to have one at either end, it will really speed things up. Otherwise, I guarantee you, when you need one, it will be at the other end of where you need it from. So I think that's a big help. So another tip, when you mix your plaster, only mix enough for that first coat. Now you might be quite good at plastering and you might be able to get a wall done or a couple of walls done with one gauge, using the same gauge for the second coat. That's all well and good on a wall where you've got 3 metre square walls, but when you're trying to do a staircase, and by the time you get to the bottom, if the top's starting to pick up, you might have to start using gear that's starting to pick up, and then you're going to start struggling. So make sure you only mix up what you need for the first coat. Maybe mix up a little bit more than what you'd need, because again, you don't want to get down to the bottom and then suddenly you've got a metre square left and you haven't got enough plaster for it. So mix up enough for that first coat that you can get all the wall on with maybe a little bit over. And another tip, when you are mixing your plaster, again, have a separate bucket downstairs and a separate bucket upstairs. So mix your gauge up however much you're going to need. Tip half of it into another bucket and have that waiting for you down the bottom. So once you've started skimming at the top, as you're coming down, you haven't then got to pick up that bucket and start trying to get it down staircases and squeeze it through ladders. You've already got a bucket waiting down there for you, and vice versa. If you do need a bit more at the top again after, it's already there waiting for you. It will really speed things up, I promise you. So once you put your second coat on and it's all looking good, get all the lines out as quick as possible. So move fast. For these first 2 coats, you want to move fast, because I probably almost guarantee you that by the time you're down to the bottom of that first set, that second coat is waiting to go straight on again. So as soon as you've mixed your first one and you've got your top to bottom on with your first coat, get straight outside, wash your bucket out, get another one mixed, and then go back up the top. You know, unless it's like a freezing cold November, December day, I would imagine generally you're ready for that second coat. So get that done, get up there, same again, plaster at the top and plaster at the bottom, get it all on, and then I guarantee you that once that second coat's on and it's drying at a different rate from the first coat, then you will get control of that wall, and then you can just trail it at speed, but you haven't got to go completely mad with your heart beating out your chest. And that way you've got the best chance of getting that wall looking good. So keep going up and down, you know, as much as you can swing that trail from top to bottom, running down that staircase so you're almost walking the wall. You're going to get a nice line there. You don't really want short strokes when you're doing a staircase. That's when you're going to start getting lumps and bumps. So take your strokes as long as you can. Even walk from the bottom of the stairs down, or bottom of the stairs up, or top of the stairs down, but just try and move along as long strokes as what you can. So when that light does shine in, when that front door's open, you're not getting all that dishing going on and lumps and bumps. You just want one continuous flow of plaster. It is hard work and it will have your heart beating out your chest. But I think if you just follow them little simple steps, you should be okay. Now, I did exactly that today. I had a bucket of water at the bottom and I had a bucket of water at the top. And then what I'd done, as soon as my tops, I got to a point where I thought they was good enough. I'd got them troweled and polished. I got that scaffold down and out of the way, and then I could really work on that bottom bit. You know, the bit where people are going to come in and start running their hands along, or the front door's going to open and the sun's going to start hitting it. I could really work on that and then really get it polished up. The bits right at the top, get them good, but they haven't got to be as good as them final bottom bits, because they're just going to get a load of emulsion slapped on them and no one's going to really see too much of that, and you're probably not going to have a lot of light bouncing off the top of that. But that bit that shines up the stairs, that's where you really want to get your polishing going on. So hopefully that is sort of giving you a few tips, a few pointers, and should give you a bit of confidence. And if it doesn't come out brilliant, what's the worst that can happen? Just give it a rub down, give it an easy feel. It'll come out all right, it'll be fine. But that's it for me for a week. I'm now off on my holidays. If I see something of interest on holiday, I will have my camera on the ready and I might upload something. But if not, I'll see you in a week or so's time for more of this. But you can't wait, can you? Anyway, thanks for everyone for watching. Take care and I'll see you soon.